Hi guys, my name is Nita B and I am starting a journaling YouTube channel. And I've wanted to do something like this for a long time, but what finally sparked me into doing it was the other night I was sitting at dinner and I had my journal out and I was playing hangman with my mom over dinner in this restaurant. And this little boy at the next table was probably 7 years old, was watching us, and he turned to his dad or stepdad or the man that was at the table and he said, I want to journal. I want to learn how to journal. I want to write stuff down. I want to do that. And the guy who was at the table is all, well, he goes into this huge long discussion about how science has proven that journaling does not actually have any benefit for people. And I was infuriated. I was like this close to saying something to this guy because I'm like, here's your 7-year-old son who wants to write something down in an age when technology is so prevalent, and you just totally squashed him. Like, what a, to borrow the Shakespearean word, what a knave. So anyway, I have decided to go ahead and start a YouTube journaling channel, and I hope that this helps you guys and that you enjoy it, and that hopefully it sparks some creativity for you guys to pull out the old hardcover journal and write stuff down. So I have a list of reasons to keep a journal, and I'm going to dive right in here because I want my videos to be information packed and a little less of me rambling. So reason number one to keep a journal is to remember places, people, and memories. I mean, that's kind of obvious, like just to remember things. I can look back in my journals at a given date and time, and I can remember stuff, especially like during college when I was really working through a lot of stuff and different things like that. It's really important to be able to look back on those things. And I've been keeping journals consistently since I was 12. So over 13 years now that I've been, like, longer than that. I don't know, I have to count because I'm not good at math. But I've been keeping journals for several years consistently. And I can look back at any point during my teen years or any point during college, and I can open up my journal and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing on that day. Or that's what that friend said. Or, stuff that seems like a really big deal at the time, you can look back on later in life and be like, oh, it wasn't so bad. Or you can look back and say, well, that's how I grew through that situation. Or if you suddenly are starting to have issues with some kind of anxiety or depression, you can look back and see what you've gone through in the past. So that's one important reason to keep a journal. The second reason is for the purpose of health and healing. If you are going through something like anxiety, or even just for the sake of everyday health, to be able to write stuff down and to process through things is a very healthy thing, regardless of what science says. I have taken the Artist's Way course, which I highly recommend for anybody who's at all artsy. It is fabulous. But Julia Cameron, the author of that book, recommends writing 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing in the morning. And the first page and a half is probably going to be muck, but the last page and a half, you really start working through stuff. And it's really interesting when you are handwriting stuff out, the stuff that kind of comes out of you, and you can heal through a lot of stuff. And it's just a really good way to process through life. And to really figure out what you're thinking about things, what you're feeling about things. So I highly recommend journaling for that. Reason number 3 is to track your personal growth and progress. If you've ever gone on a diet, if you've ever started an exercise program. I have a friend who, she's a dancer, and she will write down all of her choreography, and then she keeps a log every time she dances of things that she's improved on, or things she's working on, or things she's struggling with. I'm a skier. I'm a very avid downhill alpine skier. And every time I go skiing, I write down stuff. Actually, I have a special journal dedicated specifically to my skiing. And I'll write down, I was working on my rotation today, and this was my problem. Or I was having trouble with my left hand, whatever. And it actually helps as I progress and become a better skier to look back and track my progress. Reason number 4 to keep a journal is because of history, whether that's personal history. I can look back, like when my mom was really sick and was having to have surgeries or stuff like that. I can actually like look back in my journals and see that time of our family's life. And it's a pretty, like, stuff like that, being able to see that history, but also for future generations. Somewhere, I don't know if my mom has it or my grandma, somebody in our family has the journal of one of my great great something or other grandpas who was an officer in the Civil War. And that's a huge piece of family history to be able to see what his daily life was like. Now, I know there is stuff that I have written in my journals that I do not want my kids or my grandkids to ever see. But, 200 years down the line, when technology has moved on, we'll still be able to read this stuff. Hopefully, we'll still be able to read print journals. I mean, your little Facebook stuff is not going to make history. But this is one way to document history that technology will never be able to replace. Um, reason number Final reason to journal, and this is my favorite reason, is just for the fun of it. I love keeping journals. I mean, obviously, if I've been doing it for this many years, I love keeping a journal. And I can, like, okay, so this morning I made a collage in my journal just for the fun of it. And I just found this like random stuff in a magazine and I chopped it out and stuck it in there. Or, just like random things like that. Or I have in here places that I've traveled to. I cut stuff out of visitors' guides and different things like that. So there's so many reasons to keep a journal. I'd love to hear what your reasons for journaling are down below. And I look forward to sharing the journaling journey with you. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.